Hello, welcome, cherished listeners. My name is Setre Kweku, and I am representing group number 5. And we present on a theorist, a well known theorist named Abraham Maslow. And we are talking, of course, about Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs or Abraham Maslow's theory of needs. Alright, before we do that, let's delve a bit into his history and background. Yes, he was an American psychologist, and he is best known for creating Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like I mentioned earlier. He was a psychology professor at Brandeis University, Brooklyn, New York. He was born on the April 1, 1908, and passed on June 8, 1970. He died at the age of 62. Okay, this is the fine gentleman I'm talking about, Abraham Maslow. Yes, in the picture. Now let's talk a bit about the theory. As you can see, there is a pyramid. Yes, a pictorial representation of his hierarchy of needs. Now, as you can see in the picture, at the very base of the pyramid is the physiological needs. Physiological needs are also known as basic needs because we need them for survival. And then safety needs, we have love and belongingness, which is also classified as social needs. And then we have self-esteem needs, and then self-actualization or self-actualization needs. So the theory explains the needs of humans with the most basic needs at the bottom of the pyramid to the top, which represents the most complex needs. The theory focuses on the positive qualities in people as opposed to others which focused on the negative side back in the days. Now let's take the needs one by one and address them or talk about them. Physiological needs. Physiological needs are also known as basic needs, and that is at the base, the very base of the pyramid, because these are the ones we cannot do without. They are our needs, or these needs, we need them to survive. We need them for our very existence as human beings. Okay, so some examples of these needs are food, water, sleep, medical care, air. So how can you breathe, or how can you live without breathing? Nobody. Of course you cannot do that. Medical care, we need medical care to keep fit and survive. We need sleep after all day long work or school or whatever activities we went on. We need to sleep and then revitalize our energy for another activity the next day. We need water to survive. We need food. Yes, like I mentioned earlier, taking regular and sufficient meal, drink enough water, and get sufficient sleep to allow continuous function of the body. Access to air for breathing, which is the most primal of all the physiological needs. Yes, the breathing mechanism needs air in order to fulfill its activity. Adequate clothing and shelter, as humans can only survive within a certain range of temperatures. Yes, we need to survive. We can only survive within a certain range of temperatures. Okay, when the temperatures or when we are exposed to deep heat or too much heat or excessive heat than our bodies require, then we cannot survive. And then also when the temperature goes far less than the body requires, we cannot survive too. Now let's move on to the safety and security needs. Now after acquiring the the needs, which is the physiological needs we spoke about earlier, you need to feel safe and secured. Okay, we need to feel safe and secured in our environment. So feeling safe in one's environment, example of safety needs and security needs include financial security. Yes, we need security financially. One needs to um, secure his or her job, okay, in order to be financially sound so that one can live this life. And then health and wellness is also under this category of needs, okay, or under this type of needs or level. And then also safety against accident and injuries. Yes, one must feel safe in at the workplace, home, wherever. You must feel safe from injury or any harm. Yes, after acquiring the earlier needs, which is the physiological needs, we think about our safety. Now let's move on to the third on the pyramid, which is the social needs or love and belongingness. Social needs is the third on the pyramid. It aims at avoiding situations like loneliness, depression, among others. One, after getting the first two needs, one must feel loved in our society. You must have friends, you must get people to talk with so that you don't get depressed. We need emotional needs. We need love and affection. We need to feel belonging or belong to a certain family or a certain fraternity or the human race. Social needs include love, acceptance, and belonging, like I mentioned earlier. So, some of the things that satisfy our emotional needs are friendship, as I mentioned, romantic attachment, family, social, and religious groups. Yes, joining these any of these groups can also fulfill our emotional or social needs. Now let's move on to the fourth on the pyramid, which is the self-esteem needs. Now this is the fourth level on the hierarchy or the pyramid. It includes self-worth, accomplishment, and yes, an accomplishment. So now, after acquiring the first three needs, one has to think of value, self-value. Okay, one must think of self-value. One needs to be respected. That is what Abraham Maslow calls the self-esteem needs. Now, it can be categorized into two: internal esteem, which is esteem for oneself, placing value in your own self, and then external esteem, the desire for reputation or respect from others. Now, after placing value in your own self, you would want others to also respect you. Yes, and everybody needs that, or everybody works towards achieving these needs. Now, let's look at the fifth and final needs on the Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is self actualization. This is the highest level, okay, and It describes this level as a desire to accomplish everything that one can to become that one can be. We do everything possible within our capacity to become the people or the person we really thought of in our dreams. Okay, one has to accomplish his desires. So at this point, when you reach this point, it means you are self actualized. You are self actualized. Refers to the realization of one's potentials. Yes, self fulfillment, seeking personal growth. When you are at this level, it means you are self actualized. We work towards achieving our dreams, our potentials, whatever we had in mind to achieve in life. Now, after knowing the types of needs, now a theory is a theory. So people can, speak against it and people can also praise it. So let's look at the criticism and the praise. For the praise, it's simple, orderly, intuitive, widely known and considered to be of great practical value. It is very practical because everybody can relate to it. Everybody at all can relate to it. We strive for the most basic needs because you cannot think of going to the university while you have nothing worn. You have no shirt on, you have no shoes or sandals or whatever. You don't even have the money to buy them, let alone thinking of going to the university. It is not possible. We think of first things first. Yes. So everybody can relate to it. That is it. And then also, let's take a look at the criticisms. Well, in the world of science, scientists would want everything to be proven scientifically. And that is the criticism others found in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Yes. So that is that. So that is the brief presentation about Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you have any questions, concerns, anything, you can channel them or you can drop them in the comment section. Please like and share this video. Thank you.